All right, what is up, guys? Welcome back to Fit Body Secrets, where my mission is to bring you guys inspiration, motivation, and a ton of tips to help you guys on your fitness journey. And today I've got a Fit Body short that I want to talk to you guys about, which is going to be very simple, straightforward. In a world where it is really easy to overcomplicate things and get super overwhelmed with making nutrition changes and continue to fall off because you can't sustain them, I want to give you guys a couple of things that if you are struggling with where to start, or maybe you've started but you don't know if what you're doing is actually working, I want to go over the three things that I think will definitely create the biggest impact on your nutrition changes, whether it's trying to start something new and build from that, or you want to know what's going to give you the most bang for your buck. So if this episode helps you, please shoot me over a message and let me know. And I would love to be able to help you even further on your fitness journey. So first and foremost, let's talk about the very first one. Okay. The first one that I want you guys to remind yourself of is that you want to make sure that you keep your meals simple. What this is going to look like is every meal you eat, every snack should be a component of protein, carbs, and fats, and hopefully some source of a vegetable or a fruit if you want to use that for a carb source as well, but somewhere to get some antioxidants in. Now, if you don't know sources of protein, carbs, and fats, I do have some lists that I can give you guys out there for free. So if you guys do want some of these lists, I can give them to you. But what I want you to think about is creating simple foods that fill those gaps, not looking for mixed ingredient foods. So the food should be primarily a protein. We're talking chicken, fish, eggs, egg whites, cottage cheese, yogurt, whey protein, steak, all of those things, or lean steak, I should say. You want to try and avoid getting a lot of those mixed foods. The second one, guys, I'm sorry that I'm moving around a lot. I just got done doing a bunch of legs. My freaking body is hurting today. The second component of those meals is going to be carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are not cookies and chips and things like that, and macaroni and cheese and pizza. Carbohydrates are things like rice, sweet potato, red potatoes, pastas, things that are typically just carbohydrates. Apples, oranges, all of those things are going to be primarily just carbohydrates. And then some source of the fat is going to be, your butter, your oils, avocado, nuts and seeds, nut butters are all going to be your fat sources. And if you are using a higher protein or higher fat meat, such as a steak or a salmon, you probably won't need to add fats. But just keeping your meal simple: protein, carb, veggie, fat. Like that's the first thing you can do. So if you're already looking at your meal and you're like, I don't even know what's in this thing, there's probably 20 million ingredients. Putting all that stuff away, making it simple. I really think 5 ingredients is a sweet spot because you've got your protein, your carb, your veggie, your fat, and something to make it all taste good. I'm a big proponent for like low calorie sauces and flavor, things like hot sauce, mustard, low calorie dressings. I love the Olive Garden Light Italian and the Bolthouse Farms Creamy Caesar. Those are my two go-tos. If I want a creamy dressing, I go with the Bolthouse Farms. If I want something a little bit more vinaigrette based, I go with the Light Italian. So keeping it simple, making it taste good. Salsa is another good one. You can make like a Spanish style, like, rice bowl. Just keep it simple. Okay, so number one is simplifying your meals and having those components in them. Number two is going to be sticking to a structured eating schedule. Okay. People that graze all day are only doing themselves a huge disservice because they're likely never getting satiated, and they're probably consuming way more calories than they realize because nobody ever feels full when they have a handful of almonds and then 10 minutes later they have another handful of XYZ. They're always looking for something to hold them over until the meal. And in the meantime, they're consuming a lot of calories. So you should be sticking to a structured eating schedule. Doesn't have to look the same for you as it does for Joe Schmo. Okay. So whether it's 3 meals and 2 snacks, whether it's 2 meals and 2 snacks, whether it's 5 snacks throughout the day, you like smaller meals, maybe it's 1 big meal and a couple of lighter meals a day, whatever it looks like, you should have some form of structured way to gauge where you're getting your calories in and about how many calories are in them, because you are using the first tip that I gave you is you are having all of those components. I think the sweet spot for most is going to be 3 main meals and 2 to 3 snacks. So I think breakfast, light snack, lunch, light snack, dinner, sometimes a light snack. Or it might be like breakfast, lunch, snack, dinner, snack. I think everybody likes to eat something a little bit sweet after dinner. So number 2 is sticking to some form of a structured eating schedule. And then number 3 is having or starting your day off with protein. So even if you can't start your day off with food, some people just don't like to eat first thing in the morning. The one thing that you can do is Start your day off with some sort of source of protein, whether it's a whey protein shake, whether it's doing some Greek yogurt, whatever it is, to kind of just go ahead and front load some protein to go throughout your day. I think that those three things will have the biggest impact in your overall nutrition. And here's why. Because once those three things are established, those are the fundamentals of nutrition. And once you've got those three things in place, now you can actually start to take the time to dial things in even more. So if you're realizing you're eating 3 meals and 2 snacks, you've got those components at them, you're sticking to an eating schedule, you're front loading protein, and you're like, man, why am I not seeing results? Now you can actually start tracking that food in an app. Okay, let's see how much I'm eating. Okay, I'm eating too many fats. I can cut back on fats. Maybe you realize you're eating not enough carbs. You can add some carbs in. You can now make tweaks to that. Maybe you want to change up your eating schedule. Now you can play around with that. But those three things will have the largest impact on your overall nutrition. I'm going to head on over to the comments. Like I said, this is our Fit Body short for this week, and just see what I got in here. Steak. Yes, Corey, last week I made myself a very nice steak, and I have not had a filet in so long. But it was just amazing. I mean, I just bought, I think it was like Grass Rooted. It was the name of the brand, but it was a nice grass-fed steak, and it just like, I had forgotten how good that tasted. But yeah, definitely for sure. Um, Love that. That sounds like an amazing dinner. Buffalo chicken, made myself over a bowl of coleslaw. Love that. I love using coleslaw mix. I think people associate coleslaw with just like coleslaw. There's so many things you can do with it. And it just honestly makes it really easy. If you've ever tried to make an egg roll in a bowl, that's also one of my favorite things, Corey. You take some chicken breast, you take the coleslaw mix, you can put it in a pan, saute it, add a little garlic, ginger, sea salt, onion powder, just some basic seasonings. If you want to have some Chinese 5-spice in there, you can douse it with some coconut aminos or some soy sauce, whatever you use. And man, you've got yourself a nice egg roll in a bowl. If you want to add a little extra carbs and a little extra fat, you could even add some of those crunchy noodles on top and make it really taste like an egg roll. In fact, you can even buy egg roll papers at the grocery store in the produce section, and you can actually air fry them, and it will, like, they get crispy, and you can actually use those to add a little bit of crunch. So, but short episode today, guys. Just love talking to my peeps that come on live. Hope you guys are all having an amazing week. And it is open week. I do plan on going through some of the open workouts as well on my Instagram. I'm sorry, on my podcast as well, to give you guys some tips and tricks going into it. So stay tuned for that coming up tomorrow after the release. Talk to y'all soon.